Good afternoon. Thanks to everyone for joining us today, both in person and those watching online. Another incredible day to be a Coug, and we seem to be stacking quite a few of those in a row here. I want to begin with a few thank yous. First, President Cantwell, our search committee, Kelly Kamamura and Brad Corbin, both of who were instrumental in this process. Cougar legend Morgan Weaver, who lent her time and her insights, and all the Cougs out there who shared their thoughts throughout this entire process. Thank you for your passion for this program. I'd like to recognize some of the groups that are here today: campus administrators, representatives, community members, and alumni. Thank you all so much for being here. To our fans, you show up and you bring infectious energy. I expect Lower Soccer Field to be rocking this fall as we begin a new era of Cougar soccer. I'd like to recognize the current team for being here today. If we could give them a round of applause. A new opportunity to work hard, pursue championships, and continue this great tradition of Cougar soccer in a reimagined Pac-12. Thank you for all your work on the field, in the community, in the classroom, and I'm so excited to watch you all on the pitch this fall. Days like today represent alignment. All the groups that I've just mentioned are here today because being a Coug means something. We had significant national interest in this position, and the search was a great reminder of the strength of our brand and what an incredible opportunity it is to lead Cougar soccer. In the search, we were clear on the criteria we were looking for: a high-energy culture builder who would foster a positive environment, someone who had experienced success and had a history of strong player development, someone familiar with the region and familiar with recruiting in the West. Coach Citowicki embodies all of that, and once you spend 3 minutes with Coach, with his energy, you'll understand pretty quickly why he's been so successful. So Coach, welcome. Aaron, Vivia, and Sebastian, welcome to the Cougar family. And with that, it is my honor to introduce to you the 8th head coach in Cougar soccer program history, your new head coach, Chris Citowicki. Hey.
You guys hear me? Yeah? All right. I'm usually too loud. My son had asked me how long I'm going to speak for because he wants to do other things, and I said about 3 hours. So we'll see if I can do that. First and foremost, thank you, John, for that, and thank you, all of you, for being here. The support that my family and I have received from the very first moment that we stepped foot on this campus has been absolutely remarkable. We're beyond grateful for that, and obviously really beyond grateful for the opportunity to actually lead this program into the future. So thank you again for all of you for showing up today and truly blowing my mind with how many of you are here right now. So a couple brief introductions. John, I know you already did it, but this is my wife, Erin, at the front, and there is Sebastian, there is Vivia. One more round of applause for them, please. When Erin and I first met, this is exciting. I don't know if she wants me to share it, but I was a GA at the time, and I was earning probably about $5,000 a year, right? And naturally, she's like immensely in love with me. And things are getting pretty serious. And I'm like, okay, it's time to tell her what's going to happen next. And I'm like, I'm going to be a soccer coach. And she's like, oh, really? And what's your day job going to be? And so here we are about 18 years later. Our journey has honestly gone along every single rung of the ladder, I would say, from junior college interviews where we thought we'd end up there to Division III, Division II, Division I, and now obviously here. And I wouldn't be able to do what I do and be as passionate about the things that I'm passionate about if it wasn't for Erin. So thank you again one more time. To my children, Vivia and Sebastian, I love what I do, and you probably know that, but just so you both know, I will never love anything more than I love the two of you and your mother. So thank you for being here as well. Quick shout out to the search committee as well. In terms of Kelly, I think she is the most amazing sports supervisor in the world, and I wish she was here today, but PJ is, so thank you for being here for Kelly. And Brad, you are phenomenal. Where are you, Brad? See in here? There you are. Yes, I love you. Your energy throughout the whole interview process completely sold me. It was absolutely amazing. And I appreciate you and your leadership as well. So thank you so much. Chris Lang, our athletic trainer, who was also on the interview committee, he was absolutely phenomenal. And of course, John, meeting you, I think just kind of sealed the deal. So thank you again, all of you. And it didn't take long for us all to kind of click and realize that the vision and the goals do align. There is a new era that we're embarking upon, and I couldn't be more excited to be the one who gets to take us into the new Pac-12. I understand that the past few years have been difficult, but when you go through difficult things, you grow and you become better. And that's exactly what I see in this community. That's what I was feeling out of Brad. That's what I was feeling out of Kelly and Chris and John. And that's what made me want to be here. So yes, it's new, it's different, it's scary, but you know what? We're going to crush it, and I couldn't be more excited to be here. So thank you to the search committee, and thank you to all of you as well. The former coaches and the alumni, I just want to make you proud, and so does everybody here. Thank you for what you've built. This is a nationally recognized brand, and I'm honored to be given the chance to lead it. You're always welcome to come home just to hang out or to be here, and you'll always be a Coug. And Todd, I really appreciate you calling me. Thank you for elevating the program to absolutely incredible heights, for showing us how good it can be, and thank you for pouring your life into it. I promise to take care of it and keep it moving forward for you. For the current team, sitting here in the front row, for the transfers, for the returners, there's no sugarcoating it. What comes next is going to be extremely hard. Success does not come easy, and we're going to have to work for absolutely everything, and I feel like you've felt that through me in the opening couple weeks anyway. The only way for us to achieve our goals is to commit to the direction and to commit to each other. Luckily, we have an amazing coaching staff in place between Molly, who's in the back here as well, with Ashley, and Alex, who is yet to arrive in town, and then I'll name off the rest of my reindeer: Chris, J-Mac, Tom, Molly, Paul, Dane, and Ethan. I think we have an absolutely incredible group, and there's nobody else who I would want next to me as I embark on this journey as the head coach of this program. Final two, I promise. Montana and everybody at Montana, absolutely love you guys. Thank you for everything that you gave me and the family, for allowing us to just thrive in that setting, and the memories which we created are remarkable, and we'll always treasure those. And finally, this is a little unique, and I know my dad's watching in Poland, but this is a direct message to my parents. About 40 years ago, two people in their early 20s decided that they were going to give up everything and escape the political tension of Poland with their 2-year-old son and try to find something different. So they escaped, and they moved to Italy, and they lived in a refugee camp with their son, at which point they then moved to South Africa, and then they moved to Australia. And this whole time, all they were looking for was a new life, a new beginning, and a better future for their kids. And to my parents, I haven't said this enough, but I'll say it to you now in this setting, because I finally get to. Your sons are thriving, and so are your grandkids, and I appreciate you so much. And I'll wrap it up with this. This place is special. The fans, the alumni, the pride, the resources, the facilities, the elevator music that I just got to experience, all on a completely different level. And best of all, the slate is clean. It's completely wiped. We get to start this new adventure together, and we could have a really, really good time. And so I could not be more excited for the future and could not be happier to be the head coach of this program. And thank you again all for being here today, and obviously, let's go Cougs.
All right, well, we'll have a quick Q&A here, and then we'll turn things over for audience questions. Good job.
Thank you.
Well, let's jump in right here. Congrats, welcome. And what has the last month plus been like for you?
Is this on? Can you hear me?
You know what? Take that one.
Take it. We'll just play. Is this one on? It's me.
Test, test, test.
Test, test, test.
There
I'm
we
back.
go.
All right. I've described it to everybody as drinking through a fire hose. Just showing up here, and the most important thing was putting the team together first and foremost. If we can do that, then we're going to have a very tremendous spring, right? We can actually develop a game model and instill things for the fall. The next piece was getting the coaches in place, and so I would say the first 2 weeks was nothing but get the players here, get the coaches here, and then just try to hang on as best possible. And the best part of it was when everybody finally arrived on campus, and the first chance that I had to meet with the team and to actually step on the field was by far the best day.
Well, that is great to hear. And when this opportunity opened up and it came on your radar, what made it so attractive to you that you saw this and thought, oh, this could be a really good fit?
Let's face it, I've lost here a lot of times when I was at Montana. And so every time coming up here being like, that place is just absolutely incredible. And we were building our program around this image, right? How can we get to this kind of a stature, and to see the program go to the College Cup, to the Final Four, see what Todd was building. And so when it came open and had a conversation with him and then with Kelly, I was like, if I could be here, it would be an absolute dream come true.
With that, you kind of touched on the roster, but in this day and age, there can be roster turnover that can happen when there's a coaching change. How has it been assembling the roster?
Good. Yeah, pleased to say we had a lot of returners who stayed, and so that made it great. Now all of a sudden it was like, who can come over from Montana, and then who else can we find in the transfer portal, and pieced it together. And like I said, the most important thing was getting enough players here that you can start building a game model to be ready for the fall. Because if you don't have those pieces in place and you just have 12 to 13 players, you're not doing anything but babysitting for that time, and you're wasting time. And so for us to have 24 on the roster right now says a lot about our ability to pull people in, and we're going to be in a really good spot come this fall.
Well, when you were addressing, talking about your background and your journey there, for folks who aren't familiar, they got a little taste of it. Can you expand on that? Because you've had quite the unique path, I know, professionally, but also personally.
Yes, long journey. So I was born in Poland, and at the time, Poland going through a lot of political tension, and my family. So to put it in perspective, martial law, right? Military taking over. You got food rationing, you got diaper rationing. You just got a place where it's just not comfortable to raise a family. So we decided to escape. Lived in a refugee camp in Italy for a year, and then my dad's sister, she moves from Poland to South Africa, and she's like, it's better here. So we're like, cool, let's go to South Africa. South Africa turned out to be going through a lot of its own tensions and problems in terms of race at the time. And so after a while being there, we just thought we needed a new beginning, and ended up in Australia, which is full of kangaroos and koalas and good times. And it was about the age of 17, 18 that I thought I'm either going to be the greatest soccer player of all time, or I'm going to go to college in America, and just did one of those things. And so ended up here in the States, got into coaching, and next thing you know, Pennsylvania, Minnesota, North Dakota, Montana, and here. So long journey.
We're grateful to have you here. And with that, kind of transitioning to the coaching aspect of it, what can fans expect to see as far as style of play goes?
Oh, I should ask the players in the front row. Oh, and there's more of them coming in now. In terms of style of play, we're going to be front foot on the press. I despise when the other team has the ball. I'm just one of those control freaks in that aspect of I want it all the time. So we'll be heavy when it comes to the defending and the pressing from the front. When it comes to the game model itself in possession, it's bringing it out of the back, breaking that first line, having success in the middle third, and then attacking space and behind. So most importantly, it needs to be attractive, right? People are paying money to come to games. People want to be entertained. The players need to play with a certain level of love and joy that anybody who's out there can watch and connect with and say, I want to be a part of that too. And so that's, I think, the biggest piece that I would love you all to leave with is it's going to be fun watching them play. They're going to put their hearts and souls into this, and I'm going to support them the exact same way.
I think that transitions perfectly into my next question. In your opening remarks, you talked about what it was like to be embraced to be a Coug. How has that been for you and your family in your time here?
Well, let me tell you. So I get here on a Friday, was it, Aaron? I can't remember. So we show up at the hotel on a Friday, and next thing you know, Kelly just happens to be standing there, throws a bunch of gear at myself and my wife, throws a bunch of gear at my children, right? So they're all decked out in Coug gear. Then she's like, get in the van. I'm like, great, we're getting kidnapped. Peels away through campus, and we end up at the soccer field, and we go down there, and there's people taking photos of us all over the place, and it's just, I've never felt this welcomed anywhere. And I mean that honestly, and I'm telling you, I've lived in so many places. Every single place I've been in, if you think about it, when you move to Italy, you're not Italian. When you move to South Africa, you're not South African. When we moved to Australia, we were not Australian. And all I've ever wanted in my life is to feel like I belong somewhere. And listening to Kirby's speech, he gets to stand up there and say, I'm home. And I meet Jack Thompson, and he's talking about how this is home. And it just, that's exactly what it feels like. That's the best way to describe it. It feels like home because people care on such a deep level, and it's such a beautiful thing.
Well said there. Well said. And just last thing for you before we turn it over to audience questions. Again, something that you discussed a little bit in your remarks, but just overall thoughts on leading the program at this time, heading into the new Pac-12.
Yeah, transition time, and couldn't be more excited about it, right? Like I said, the slate is clean. The program that approaches it with the most energy is going to have the most success. And at Montana, we had 9 titles in 8 seasons, so I just want to hit the ground running and try to be as successful as possible, as early as possible, while respecting the fact that everybody that we're competing against is elite. And so success doesn't come easy. Every day is going to be a grind, and not every day on the field, but every day in the office, everything that we do. Myself and the coaching staff are going to work hard, players are going to work hard, and hopefully we get the results that we all dream of.
Well, with that, we'll turn things over. If there are any questions in the audience here, I know we got a microphone available, and it looks like we got a question over here.
Hey, Chris, congratulations. I'm Connor Ward from the Evergreen, and I'm just curious, you talked about how when you got the job, you Todd Schulenberg called you. Just kind of what was that conversation like, and what did he tell you about the position?
Yeah, completely secret. No, kidding. No, we just had a good conversation just about state of the program, where it was going, his experiences here, and how good he thinks it can be. So honestly, the first time I met Todd, I was a little intimidated on the sideline, right? And they absolutely smacked us that first season in 2018. And over time, a lot of respect grew in between the two of us. And so had some really positive conversations over the past year and a half, and finally culminated in that one. And it was a good talk.
All right, we'll see. Any other questions?
Emma Widmore, you got a question at the front row there? I'm watching you.
Here we go.
You came by the office and said you had a question.
I do. My question is, do you personally have any coaches you look up to as role models?
Plenty. When it comes to soccer, right, there's plenty of soccer coaches that I look up to. If you notice the way that the program is structured and things, a lot of the structure and the business elements and how you develop human beings first and foremost come from outside of the soccer scene. So for me, the first coach I truly fell in love with was Herb Brooks, if you know who Herb Brooks is, right, Miracle on Ice. And the reason I moved to Minnesota is because I wanted to be closer to the spirit of Herb Brooks. I was like, grad assistant position in Bemidji, Minnesota, that's where I'm going. And if I didn't find that opportunity, then I wouldn't have run into this beautiful woman in the front row and have the kids that I have today, right? So Brooks, in terms of how to build a culture, and then beyond that, you start looking at the John Woodens and the Tony Dungy's and the Nick Sabans and the Coach K's, right? Just take as many ideas as you possibly can, and when you figure out that there are patterns to successful people, and you start to implement those patterns in your own program, your own way, you develop a lot of success pretty quickly. And so plenty of mentors when it comes off the field, and especially on the field as well.
Good question. We'll see. Any more audience questions? We got another one back here.
Coach, you've had a lot of success at other programs in the first couple of years, really being able to turn them around. So what makes you think you can have so much success early on here in the first couple of seasons?
Blind faith, I think, is the best way to put it, right? If you don't believe, how is anybody else supposed to believe, right? If I sit up here and say, oh, we'll see how it works, let's fingers crossed, I hope it works out, then that's the approach that my players are going to take. That's the approach that the recruits are going to take. That's the approach the committee and the community is going to take. Why, right? You've got one life to live. You might as well throw everything into it and try to get the most out of it. So we're going to hit the ground running, and fingers crossed, that's just it. Blind faith, like I said. Take the leap and hope that you land. Take the leap and hope that you fly. We're going to hope that we can fly and just, like a rocket ship, take off, right? It's the only way to do it. Because for every single one of us in this room, time is running out, and I don't want to waste a single second.